Hello, happy Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed your May long weekend. I've had to cancel my hair appointment, so you're gonna have to look at this bad hairdo for another couple weeks. Sorry. Anyway, 781, I am meeting you today at 11. And normally I wouldn't post a message when we're meeting, but I have a new assignment for you this week. And so I want to go over it with you and show it to you so you understand what we're doing. And then hopefully you've looked at it before we meet. So if you have any questions, you can ask me then. So the assignment is posted and it's in the notes today because on, I think Wednesday, but I'm not sure, you're going to have to keep going to the notes because every day I have a new step for you to do. And today's kind of a long one, and then it gets much shorter after that. And so there'll be something for you to do every day this week. And so I'm going to mostly talk about it in my video because it's a lot easier to talk about it than to type all this stuff. So I've actually done it here. That's why I keep looking over here because I have the assignment here for you to look at. So in preparation for our career unit, which is going to start next week, and I've been working so hard on it, I think it's going to be really good. I want to talk about a couple things about our needs and our wants. And some of you might have talked about this last year in grade 7, but we're going to take sort of a new look at it. So I've just got the instructions in the notes, and then Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to put something that you can actually submit. But I want you to write it on paper and take a photograph of it and hand it in because you have to physically be writing some stuff down. So if you are just, insistent on typing, you can, but you're gonna have to print it out once you get it all done. So I'll explain that a little bit more as we go, and I'll show you in it's also there in the notes. So I think the first step is to, you're watching the video now, so that's fine, but if you read the assignment, I think that will help you. And so the step 1 would be to read the instruction first. And then, so the first thing it's going to ask you to put down what your definition of a need is and what your definition of a want is. And on your paper, I want you to do that. And then I'm going to tell you what definition, and I had to go back to the class one from last year because this lesson is way better in person, but we can't do that. So I have a definition that I used last year based on some of my own ideas and some of the class ideas. So I'd love you to write down your need definition and your want definition. And then you're going to do that on a piece of paper, just like this, okay? So that's the first thing. So what you should probably do is pause this video right now and write that down on a piece of loose leaf or type it on your computer. So pause it and do that. And I know some of you aren't going to, fine. Now the want definition that I have here. I'm going to read it to you. So a want is something that makes my life better, but I don't rely on it for my survival. So the definition of want, something that makes my life better, but I don't rely on it for survival. And then the definition of a need is something that is required for my actual survival and well-being. So those are the needs and the wants as defined by me and the former grade 8s of HGI 2018-2019. So I'd like you to write those down. So again, a need is something that is required for my actual survival and well-being. And you can pause right now if you want to write that down. Something that is required for my actual survival and well-being. And a want is something that makes my life better, but I don't rely on it for my survival. So we also came up with 5 needs that we agreed were really the only 5 things that you actually need for your basic survival, just to be alive and functioning. Food, clothing, not fancy, just survival clothing, shelter, love and or caring, and then the fifth one was perhaps medicine. So if you were diabetic or you had some sort of condition where you needed medicine to stay alive, so we added that one. So food, clothing, shelter, love, medicine. Those are the things that you need for your survival. Now, your job today, and this is in the assignment, so if you've already looked at it, that's fine, but I'm going to show you mine and I want you to make yours like mine. So what I would do next is you need to take a piece of paper. It has to be loose leaf. You can type it, but you're going to have to print it out once you're done this step. So here's my example. I have two bad examples, which is the least bad. Okay, I'll show you this one. So on your paper, you're going to start, you have your definitions on one side like that. You're going to flip your paper over so you can use the whole loose leaf, and you're going to use the entire paper. So even though there's a margin, I don't care about that. I'm just writing right on the edge. So sorry, this is, I don't know if it'll be backwards. Anyways, your want and the reason that it's a want. In no particular order, you need to write down 10. No order. Your first one, like my first one was hair products. Like clearly I do need those, but that's not my number one item. I just wrote them as I thought of them. So it's in no particular order, your needs, and you're going to number your page. I did that on this one, but this one looked really bad, so I didn't do it. But number all the way down. Give yourself 2 or 3 lines between each, because on this side, you're going to write down why it's a want. Why do you like it? Okay. So I did mine on one piece. It's not good. You don't want to cram it in like this. So for example, and I'll take a picture of this and I'll post it. That makes more sense. So I've got hair products. My hair is a nightmare without my products. And when I say products, I mostly mean like my straightener and blow dryer. Although COVID appearance. Another thing, nail equipment. You guys probably have not seen me without nail polish, but this is what the crisis has done to me. My wedding rings, my car. And so I have an example of why. So for example, I put down my phone is something that is a need item that's in my top 10. And I wrote, so the item, phone, and then the reason it's a want, the reason why it's in my top 10 is because I spend a lot of time on Instagram and Twitter. I watch Netflix on there. I listen to my books on my phone. I text my friends, my family. I don't have a home phone, so that is if I need to call someone, which I call my dad twice a week. And then, of course, all my pictures that are on there. So my phone is really important to me because of all these things. I put down my wedding rings. I lumped 2 pieces of jewelry together, so my wedding rings and my Tiffany bracelet, which of all my belongings, my physical possessions that I own, these are really important to me. My husband gave them all to me, and the way I got them is very special, so those are important. I think I only have about a minute left, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll put a picture of this on. So today's assignment, define want and need on your own. Write down my want and need. Get your item, your want, and the reason why it's important to you. Write that down. And if you type it, save it and print it. If you do it in pen or pencil, hang on to it. And that's that for today. In addition, I'd like you to read for 20 to 60 minutes. And then I will be back with you tomorrow to show you phase 2 for this awesome list. Okay, bye.